Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies, and I'm pretty sure this is build update 5 of our Revell 32 Ford Tudor kit. Let's go down below here. I got a bunch to show you and a whole bunch of other stuff to show you too. But the guys have really been busting their tail on this, and they saved my bacon, and I'll tell you why in a minute, because I just wasn't using my head. So this whole thing has been about hiding the lights and making the lights all work and all that. And I've gotten a long way on here. You see, I'm tethered up right now, and I'm going to show you right away what we got going on here. The headlights are lit. The turn signal lights are lit, or running lights, and our tail lights are lit. Now, I really wanted this to do, or these to be where they are, because when I shut them off, I kind of want them to disappear in the back there. You can see I got light bleed in here like crazy, but we'll take care of that. I got light bleed all over the place on this. And I'll talk about that in a second too. But the tail lights we talked about, where I drilled them out and then put a piece of plastic behind there and put the lights in with this and use UV resin to hold them in place. So now what I got to do is, you see how much light bleed is on those. It looks like headlights blowing back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these with Mod Podge, and then I will paint them with some flat black just to hide them up. But on these running lights, if you look down on this one, and it's hard to see, but this one here, I got a piece of like a scratch in the chrome, and you can see the light through it there. And what I'll do with that is, it's an easy fix. I'll just hit that with the fusion firm, and that'll take care of that. That'll block all the light coming up this way. I also have light bleed on the sides here, and what I'm planning on doing there is I'm planning on using the flat black and just touching that up so that it doesn't bleed back up against the body panel. That's one of those things that just bugs me when I do these. See, my lights are flickering. They're just all twisted up into this spaghetti western here that, man, Clint Eastwood couldn't even get this one to win. The front, same thing. Boy, those look bright in there. They are bright. I mean, those are ridiculously bright. But I drilled the hole in the back, and then I drilled a hole in the fender, because that's the only way to make these things disappear. So I drilled a hole in the two fenders here, and we ran the wires down underneath and just kind of tucked them in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run them around and bring them this way, like that. And I'll run them along the bottom of the frame rail underneath the suspension part. Through here, I'll make a little notch in here, so I'll bring them up and around, and then I'll come in, and we're just going to bury them in the trunk back here like I did with most of the other ones I've done. So that's going to be pretty easy to do. And then we'll come back with fusion firm, and we'll rechrome everything that needs to be rechromed. We will do a little black dab here and here, because there is huge amounts of light bleed, even though you can't see it. You will when the radiator's in place. But I had to get all this in and lined up, and it's the best I could do. And it worked out great. But remember, I always say pre-plan and think about where you're going and what you're doing. Well, last night, we got the chassis put together. I didn't have the steering wheel in. That one gas pedal wasn't in. But I got the lights lit. I got these lights on here lit in the back. And I'm thinking, okay, let's put this together. Make sure everything looks good. And we'll just test fire all the lights. So I did that. Remember, that magnetizes in together here. I had the body on. I had the chassis in place. The interior squeezed up in there. Man, is it tight to get in there. It's really tight. It's no wonder why I cracked the side panel. And you can see it now in the light. When I'm done, I'm going to hit that with a little bit of paint and that'll disappear. So I'm not doing anything with it right now. I'll try to do some other things, but if I need to, but I think just a little dab of paint and it'll be good to go. Um, but I had all that together, and I pulled this off with the interior inside it. No steering wheel, no brakes, no nothing. These two lights on the front weren't even on. They were just hanging there. And I thought, that worked out great. And I glued this to the bottom of this. So you can see I had to unglue it and rip the thing apart. Popped off the front end here. I had this on too, which I shouldn't have had on because that has to go on after everything's together anyhow, which it was. And so it blew off across the room. Fortunately, it didn't tear the paint all to heck. So my pre-planning went right out the window with excitement. So, so just a heads up, if you're going to try to follow this, and don't do that. Wait until everything is ready to rock and roll, and don't let the excitement of the moment make you do stupid stuff. Or I was tired too. It was a long weekend and everything, and a big day at work yesterday, and I just screwed up. But I admit to it, and I wanted everybody to know, yeah, hey, you might want to wait before you do that because these lines have to be run, and these lines had to be run on the inside here, and with this in place and the interior in there, there was no way in God's green one that was going to happen. So, whatever. It is what it is. It's better now. We got a good forward plan here now, and I slowed way down. The next thing that I'm going to do before and here, see, these are just, like I said, these are just twisted together, just so I could get it lit for the beginning of the show. But the next thing I want to do is I want to get these run. I will paint these with the flat black before I do anything else to them, so that I'm not trying to paint them black alongside the blue and all that. And we got to figure out a way to run the mounts on them and all that. You see, I tried to drill a hole in here. I had to pin this one side. It just would not go in there very well. So it's pinned in there. I'll fill that, and then we'll hit that with some with the Kaleido blue, and that should disappear. But these, I'm not sure if I just want to tuck and roll this way and run around the suspension and up and through, or if I'm going to drill a hole through here and run them in and then pull them straight. That'll be down the road. I'll probably end up drilling a hole just because it'll make things easier and it'll hide everything. So those wires will run down along the edge. Remember, my brake goes on. Think about that. Where's the power driver? The brake's going to be right in here. The exhaust. So I'm going to try to tuck it on the outside of the exhaust and then just bring it in and drop it through. Probably right in here where the pin marks are that I didn't clean up very well. So that'll look good. It'll all be out of the way. And that'll be nice. This came out good. I did do my touch-up polishing. I said on the last video that I put the lights in, but I still had, or the glass in, but I still had to do some polishing. Where I had to polish it was up on top. The glass was out of the way. It was no big deal. So I did that. I still got a bump right here, and I'm afraid to go too hard on it because of just what's going to be. So that's going to be a little piece of bird poop, and it is what it is. You can see I still got good reflection along with them 9 million fingerprints on here. So we'll get a coat of wax on this now, and we're going to be good. The glass went on okay. A little heavy-handed here with the UV resin, but with it sitting down and everything, that'll all disappear. The front, remember, this is loose. It worked out good when I put the interior in. Pin that right up tight, just like I thought it would. We'll let that flex, and the Mod Podge will be the saving grace. Once the dashboard's up against that thing, there's no way it's going to go anywhere anyhow. And I just wanted to have a little bit of flexibility in there so I'm not popping the glass out. So there's my plans with that. I'm really happy. I'm going to show you something that got sent in the mail to me. They said, hey, try this out. I'm just going to do a real quick talk about it because I haven't tried it out yet. But I do not have a decent, I don't have a rotary tool other than my old Dremel that weighs a friggin' ton, and it has the cable on it and all that. So these guys, they wanted to send me basically what I had, and I said, do you have a battery-powered one? This is Katerk, I guess it is. And the guy said, yeah, we can do that instead. So they sent me this. It comes with a cable. It comes with some bits. Not a whole lot of usable for what I do. This will be a good one. And a few other ones in here. The cutoff wheels, not sure. And I've never used a polishing wheel. So I'm going to use that on the Ford Pinto body when I finally get back to it and see how these work polishing that Kaleido paint. It does come with a wrench. And again, I did use this round tip on there. It's just a little ball deburring tool. But my Red Demon, when I was taking it to the show, this just drops in, push the lock button, locks, tightens. That's all I do. I'm not going to put a wrench on that. Geez, I don't even know if I could. So there's not even a place for the wrench, so I'm not sure what it's for. Maybe to change the main chuck or something. But I needed to fix the radiator because it got knocked off on the Red Demon. And I had a whole bunch of glue in there. I used super glue in there when I put it together to repair at the last show. So I wanted to grind all that super glue off, and this did a pretty good job of that. Like I said, I don't use a rotary tool that much, but this is pretty slick. You push and hold the button, and it kicks on. It starts at 3, which is screaming. So 4, 5, and then down to 1. I actually ran it at 2 on there. Look at the light on this thing. So it worked. It worked really well. I will be using this more often. It's not that loud. It's no louder than my dang Dremel. That thing sounds like grinding gears because it's so old. Tells you how much battery's left. Now, see, I'm on number 2. If I push and hold this, it kills it. If I come back, and I think they said something like 15 minutes or something, and just turn it back on, it comes back to 2. If I turn it off and leave it off for a while, it goes back to the 3, no matter where the settings were. So it has a memory for a little while, but not that long. What I can see using this for, instead of the dang Dremel with the cable coming off the back, is drilling the rest of the holes in my car carrier. So I'm excited about that. And again, you just push the lock. It comes apart. I will do a good demo of this thing when I get to the charger, because I'm going to light my 68 charger, and I'm going to have to cut those light lenses out. And I thought, what a good idea is to use this to get up in there close, and then use my battery, which is way over there. I'm not going to go get it, but my battery sander to get me right up to the line. So, because I could see using this thing and all of a sudden going, whoop, and just destroying it. So I wanted to show you it was there. I promised everybody, or I promised the people that sent it to me that I would show you, and I will demo it because, I mean, it's a rotary tool, and I'm going to use it. But just I was too far along on this build to be able to utilize it. It comes in a nice little case too. Um, Now that I've showed you the box and everything, the box is going to go in the garbage. I don't need to keep anything that, I'm not going to use all the time. But I like it. It works so far for what I'm doing, and I'm done with that commercial. But again, you're going to see it again. The other thing I want to show you is the other day, Saturday, I went to the 16th annual Buckeye Classic, which is an NNL show in Hilliard, Ohio. And I'm going to have a video probably Thursday um, on that show. Oh, all right. Now I got to stop. I wanted to show you my hood. So this is where we are with the hood so far. I'm not putting this piece on until everything goes together, and I am going to glue the side to this. And the only reason is because when I go to change the battery, this whole body has to come off. Well, this is going to have to come out of the way too. So I want to be able to just pick up the whole thing, get it out of the way, pull the body up, put the battery in, put that back in, and then this will go up against the radiator. But I think that came out really cool. Sitting up there a little bit proud off the top. So when it sits across on the support bar, it's going to look good. What it doesn't have, though, is any of the lockdowns or the T-handle on here. So I'm going to dig into the chrome parts and see what I can find. I may or may not put them on. I'm still not even sure if I'm going to put door handles on this or not. But I'm happy with that. That really, and it's the first time I use louvers. So very cool. All right. Now back to the show. First thing, I want to thank Keven for saving this for me. This is going to be for the Texaco station, which I've been talking about for the last 2 years, but it's going to happen again. I picked up the ice cycle. It's an Ertl kit. It was one of those things. He showed what he was taking, and I saw this in the box that he was taking with him, and I thought, if it's there, it's coming home. And Keven, he had it in there, and he knew what I was coming in for. And believe it or not, this is the only thing I bought at the show is for a kit. But the other thing I bought, and this was at STS Decals, was JB Weld. It's called Super Weld Light Activated Instant Glue. And it was $10. One of my buddies and I were sitting there talking, and he was talking about it. And I was like, show me. Because this is good for chrome, it's good for glass, it's good for all that. It dries crystal clear, and it's right now. But it's not a UV resin. It will harden even if there's no light. It takes overnight, but with a light, it's seconds. And I used it to mount the headlights on here and the crossbar on there. And what it did is it glued it on there really well. I mean, I'm super happy with that. This is what you get. Not sure how long it's going to last. I put a little bit in my cup, and you can still see it hit the light. That's cool. That worked good. I'll keep that cup. But it's like water. It's very thin. This is I've used this all the time. This stuff is maybe one molecule thicker than water. So I had to work to get it to stick to the toothpick to get on there, because I sure wasn't going to use a paintbrush or anything like that. I do have those little Q-tips though, but I was afraid that'd get too much on there. And I was just trying this thing out and thought, I'm going to really screw up this kit. I was really nervous with it, and boom, it worked right now. I started out by gluing in the LEDs in the headlights. and that worked out great. You saw how bright those were, so it didn't fog up the chrome at all. You're seeing the dull chrome here because I sanded that line out of it. I'll come back before I put the radiator in. I hope. The way last night went, maybe not, but I want to fusion firm all that. Um, but it takes like 3 days to dry, and I'm still manhandling this. Once I get these wires run to the back and all that, I'll come back and do that before I put everything on. But really cool. It's got the light um, built right in, and this popped off. I was surprised. This thing comes right off, and it looks like it'll pull out of there so you can change the bulb. And it looks like that's a 2032 bulb. So if it is, this dang thing's going to last months. Uh, so years because it's not on all the time. So I'm not sure how much is in here, but for $10, it was worth a try. I'm happy with it. Down the road, we'll see, like I said, how much I get out of it and how well it holds. So again, this UV stuff to me is still voodoo. But that worked well. Everything's going good. It's been a while since I've talked to you. I got some things in the mail from Gallery. Boy, my brain just completely shut off for a second. I got some things in the mail from Gallery that are sitting right down here that I can't wait to show you, but I'm not allowed yet. It'll be the beginning of next month, I think, when he cuts me loose on that. But there's some exciting stuff coming down. My exhaust pipes. I still need to do the backs, but man, did I drill those out as deep as I could and thin them out as much as I could. So I want to be done with this weekend. And then I am going to move everything out of here because I am starting to feel claustrophobic. I'm glad you can't see my shop right now. But with that, how about if we cut this one short today? Don't forget, my store is open. All the earnings that come from this store are going to go for the, let's go right to it, the 24-hour breast cancer awareness group build on October 17th. If we can get $2,000 worth of donations, and I'm going to stick to it this year because my hair is thinning out pretty hard from last year, but if we get $2,000 worth of donations, I'm going to shave my head at midnight. So anything you get off of here, the extra money, which I think it's like $4 extra or whatever, it's already added to the price, so it's not that bad. And I'll tell you what, I love the shirt. A couple of us were wearing the shirts at the show, but anything that they pay me for any of this is going to the breast cancer awareness 24-hour group build. It'll go on a GoFundMe with everything else. So there's that. Again, October. Set your clocks. We want everybody, as many people as we can, to join in on the fun. And it was a lot of fun. Let's thank Gallery for everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's Gallery that's, I got a pile of stuff I can't wait to open in front of you. Let's thank our veterans, our active duty members, and our first responders for putting it on the line every single day. They deserve a thank you. If you see them, give them a thank you. I salute each and every one of you, and thank you very much. Automotive Model Car Livecast is Thursday, every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Set your clock for this week because I'm going to be on there talking about the 16th Annual Buckeye Classic. I brought home, I didn't win anything except for all the people that I was with. I had so much fun just talking to everybody. I bet you by the end of the day, everybody was tired of Grandpa Mark walking around the show. But I did get some good video. I'll have that video out in a couple of days, like I said. But check out the Automotive Model Car Livecast and see what we talk about. It's a blast. Every time I go on there, I have so much fun with those guys. But with that, I'll let y'all go. Y'all have a great day, a better tomorrow, and thank you very much for watching.